What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the New England Brewing Company, and they're out of Woodbridge, Connecticut, and this is their Coconut Joy. So they're calling this one a porter with coconut, Madagascar vanilla, and cacao nibs added. It comes in at 6.5% alcohol by volume, 35 IBUs, and at the time of review, this can is just over 3 months old. And I want to give a huge thanks, shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Steven, for hooking me up with this one. So big thanks to him for this beer. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies Steven hooked me up with, and it was a surprise beer mail. I had no idea it was coming, and he sent me 2 beers from the New England Brewing Company, which I've had beers from them in the past. I've never reviewed anything from them. We used to get great distro going back 8, 9, 10 years ago, and then it dried up, and now recently we have seen some of their beers. When I went to the my bottle shop of choice recently, Premier Gourmet in Amherst, New York, I think they had like 3 beers in their cooler, but nothing like this. So I'm really excited about this. So huge thanks to Steven for this one. Now they're kind of going for, you know, like a candy bar. They have Coconut Joy is the name, right? And it looks like the font of like Almond Joy, the candy bar. But considering this does not have any nuts in it, I feel like they're going more for a Mounds bar. But I don't know. That's why we're here. Now, it's 6.5%, a lot of pastry, stouts, and porters that are a little bit lower in ABV, sometimes hit or miss. I'm hoping this one is a hit. And they do have a spiel here. I'll read on the side real quick because usually I forget at the end. It says, little known fact, and then it has an asterisk, which means this is probably not a fact. It says, Ludwig van Beethoven was trying to finish his 9th symphony. He had, symphony? Did I say symphony? I meant symphony. His 9th symphony. This is why I don't read stuff. Anyway, it says he had completed the first 3 movements, but was stuck on the 4th. It says then he drank this beer, a large, full-bodied porter brewed with cacao nibs, Madagascar vanilla beans, and a tremendous amount of hand-toasted coconut. The beer helped him finish the piece back in 1824. That final movement in the symphony was a tribute to this very beer, quote, ode to joy. I would need New England beer company or brewing company to settle right down. Listen, I just wasted like a minute reading it incorrectly, mind you, and let's just hope the beer's good, okay? Oh, it's a little bit of an explosion here, a little bit, just a smidge. We'll see. Should be fine. So give it a pour like this. Yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to come out of the can. That's all. It happens. Do something like that for now. And because it exploded, I'm going to get a paper towel and clean up my hand and clean up where it exploded over here. Just to make sure everything's cool, you know. Especially darker beers, they have a tendency to, stain real quickly. Anyway, see how it says Coconut Joy? I showed it to you. Go over here like that, because that's the actual front of it. So, yeah, that's pitch black. It poured out pretty dark for a 6.5% beer. Has about a finger of a straight up brown colored head. Looks somewhat creamy, somewhat soap sudsy. Can't see through it. Yeah, looks nice. Let's get a nose. Wow, what? I'm getting a big like roasted malt into like a coffee roast. And there is no coffee in here. There's supposed to be coconut, vanilla, and cacao beans. And I'm not getting chocolate. I'm not getting any kind of, vanilla or like marshmallow. And I'm not getting coconut. Now, this is just over 3 months old, but, Steven handles his beers properly, so this should be fine. But, yeah, big roasted malt, maybe like a really dark chocolate, like a 60, 70, 80% cacao bar. There's coffee, maybe a little bit of a nuttiness. Maybe this is an Almond Joy. Yeah, like a nondescript nuttiness. There's also like this earthy kind of floral hop tone I'm getting. Okay, so this is right out of my darker beer fridge at 54 too. I am not getting any of the adjuncts outside of maybe the cacao nibs in the form of like a 60, 70, 80% cacao bar. There's no coconut on the nose. There is really no vanilla. This has more of like a coffee kind of feel. The base beer itself is coming through. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing at 6.5. I mean, I feel like those adjuncts could be a little bit, overpowering to the beer in a 6.5% porter, but I also want to smell them to some degree. So I'm not getting it. So it doesn't smell bad. It just doesn't smell like what it's supposed to be. So anyway, cheers everybody. Thanks again, Steven. So I appreciate that. I do appreciate it, and then I just got hit with the aftertaste. Maybe I don't appreciate it. The first thing that hit my palate was a slight toasted coconut kind of vibe. Go back in. Yeah, front of the palate's really cool, really nice. Okay, all right, we'll get into it. Let's go body mouthfeel because things are happening in that second sip that weren't happening in the first sip and vice versa. Kind of weird. Doesn't happen to me many times, but it just did. We'll go one more sip. We'll go body mouthfeel. Body at 6.5%. I didn't expect it to be substantial, but this is like almost medium body, so that's fine. The mouthfeel, nice carbonation. I'd say lower side of moderate carbonation. Has a nice smoothness on the palate. It's not creamy. It's not soft, but I didn't anticipate it being like that. So I think the mouthfeel is appropriate, and the body's pretty much appropriate as well. So what happened was on the first sip, I got that toasted coconut. And I was getting chocolate. So I was getting like a Mounds bar, or for my friends over in Europe and in the UK, a Bounty bar, something in that realm, right? But as it passed through the finish, there was this metallic kind of finish that is reminiscent, for me specifically, of milk stouts. A lot of times in milk stouts, I don't know if it's the lactose and how it plays with the beer. It's just, I typically get a metallic kind of vibe to them. Not all the time, but I'd say the majority of the time. Let's say 60, 70% of the time. And that's what I got in the first sip. Second sip, however, that is kind of washed away. I'm not left with a metallic note after the second sip. So maybe my palate just needed to get acclimated to what I was experiencing. And it has kind of washed away that metallic kind of note, and I'm happy about it. So right at the forefront, definite 100% Mounds, Bounty bar, whatever you want to say. It's chocolate, and it's like a sweet dark chocolate mixing in with a toasted coconut. Then I get roasted malt right after that, and a nice like medium roasted coffee. As it continues on through the palate, the sweetness starts mixing in with the roasted kind of malt quality, and it starts the sweetness starts to dip, which is nice. And then there's this earthy kind of hop tone that hits, and it's not too prevalent, it's not too big, but it has like a mild to moderate bitter kind of feel to it. This is semi-dry. So what I appreciate about this is 6.5%. It's not too sweet, not too bitter, kind of well balanced to some degree between the bitterness and the sweetness. The only thing I'm really not getting is the vanilla, to be honest with you. And I'm okay with that because I'm more of give me the coconut and give me the chocolate, right? This isn't overly complex. What did I say? There's dark chocolate, there's toasted coconut, there's roasted malt, and there's like a coffee roast. That's pretty much what I'm getting back end, little earthy bitterness. This is a very drinkable pastry porter where you're getting like the flavors of a Mounds or Bounty bar, but they're doing it in such a way that's not over the top, it's not overbearing, it's not too much, but it's also more nuanced and subtle. So if you're somebody who wants all that crazy flavor, you probably wouldn't enjoy this one. But for someone who doesn't drink a lot of big beers anymore or really can't, this is nice. I would easily be able to take down this can, and I will. And if it was local, this might be a beer I just have in the fridge when I'm kind of in the mood for a darker beer with some coconut and some chocolate in it. It's not amazing or anything, but it's just a very drinkable pastry porter without being really a pastry porter. 6.5%, you really can't tell. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice beer. It's a very well-made, nice beer. And what I appreciate about it, one more time, is that metallic kind of taste did not hang around. So I think I'm just going to rate it. So Coconut Joy from New England Brewing Company. First beer I've reviewed from them on the channel. I have no issues giving this beer right here we'll go high 4 out of 5, we'll go 4.05. I think that's where it lands. We could do this Coconut Joy over here as well. I feel like this is better like at the camera, but this is really the front of it. So, you know, at the end of the day, does it really matter? No. So yeah, 4.05 out of 5. Price point availability, I have no idea. So Steven, would you pay for this? Or Rick, who's also in Connecticut and can get stuff from doing one of his relatively local breweries. What do you guys see for a 6-pack? I'd imagine this comes a 6-pack. Is this something in like the $12 to $15 range? I would assume. And availability, I have no idea. Like I said, here in Buffalo, New York, we do get slight distro of New England stuff at this point. We used to get a ton of crap back in the day, but I've never seen this here. The other beer Steven sent my way was their Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout Trooper. I've had the base of that beer numerous times, both fresh and aged. delicious, delicious beer. So I'm super pumped to be able to try the bourbon barrel aged version. I think I'm going to like that more than this. We'll see. We'll see, but I think so. But this is good for what it is. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. And yeah, really nice beer. I'm glad Steven sent it my way. I don't know if, Steven, you sent it because you know I like coconut, or you're just like, hey, here's a couple New England Brewing Company beers. Either way, I do appreciate it, good sir. So thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review. To the next one. Cheers.